Mostly because I want, you know, the attention to be drawn to the middle of the guy's face, like right over here. There's no eyeballs on this guy, it's just like a visor. If anybody has any suggestions, by the way, please feel free to let me know. Feedback always appreciated, as per usual. You'd welcome that paint job into your hive city. All right, that's good, I guess. I think that's good. I'm not exactly sure, but I think so. Okay. We'll let that sit for a little bit. I think that's that step done. I want to do some relayering on the middle colored cloth as well. So obviously we got a lot of muddied colors now, especially in the darker recesses. I want to try and do a bit more crystalline green again, which is the same color we used for the original ropes. But then avoid all of the recessed areas. So hopefully it'll clean up some of the colors there. Same idea, again, just glazing it. You like how the sight is with the blade part? Yeah, so the sight is, it's gonna be very, it is going to be very rusty when we're done. Right now it doesn't look particularly sharp, it looks a little dull. But you can kind of see the vibe of the colors we're going for. I do want to make it rusty. Okay, so we want to relayer all of the flat areas of the medium green cloth, avoiding all the recessed parts. So we're gonna do some highlights as well on these little shades later, but I think for now, we'll just do some pretty broad relayered areas over here. The idea obviously being that we leave the more recessed areas alone, like for example the dark part here. Now we can get some nicer highlights on it. Yeah, make it look a little bit more like cloth. Otherwise it can look a little round. Probably require a couple layers in these areas. We will use some edge highlights in this area too, of course. But that's gonna be a later step. It dries very quickly though. I would like to paint a Dreadnought. Yeah, we were talking about Dreadnoughts yesterday. I've never painted a Dreadnought before. I think the Horus Heresy Dreadnought is really sick. If I could pick one, I think that's the one I would go for. The Imperial Knights and all that are cool. The Chaos Knights look really sick as well. But they're very large and a little intimidating. Plus a whole lot of work. I feel like for a medium-sized project, the Dreadnoughts are probably more fun to paint. I feel like painting one of those Chaos Knights would take me months. There's 4 different Horus Heresy Dreadnoughts. I like the one in particular that has the little slicey slice arms and then the little drilly arm. I think those are that's the difference, right? They have like different weapons, different attacking things. I think their weapons change. That's the Leviathan Dreadnought? Okay. I don't know what they're called, but if that's the Leviathan Dreadnought, I think that's my personal favorite. I think that one looks good. Slowly working my way up. Okay, small differences. We'll go in as well. We'll go in as well with a brighter color later on. I quite like this. Okay. Let's go down Zete. Hey, thank you, dude. I've been painting for a little while now. It's been really fun. I've been liking it a lot anyways. I've been doing it some on stream as well. Planning on continue doing this for the foreseeable future. We got quite a few minis that need to be painted and I've been loving the process. So I've been starting my stream with a couple hours of painting and then we'll do some games afterwards. I'm treating it like laddering in StarCraft 2, you know? We gotta put in the hours if we want to get good. Looks like I've hit diamond? Yo, thank you. Big compliment. More, no, I don't want, I selected only instrumental music, man, what the hell? All right. Voices. Wait, those voices were in the music, right? They weren't just in my head, right? Guys? No. Haha. What voices? Hold up right now, what it would, Okay. Not nearly as much cloth over on this side, it seems. This side has a lot of flat panels, but the other side not so much. I mean, there are flat panels, it's just that they have a lot of creases in them too. This is going to be a lot more work for highlighting later, but for tidying up some of the stains, it seems like you don't really need to do as much here. Oh shit. Moved it out of the frame for a little bit. Okay. Try anime instrumental Lowko. It's good, I guarantee it. Uwu? I love anime. You know what I love even more than anime? Hentai. No, I mean, I love anime. It's my favorite. Love it. I need a tiny little bit of brown over here. Henken, the Star? Yeah, that's what I meant, Ken, to stole. I love Star Citizen. Huge fans of games that are unfinished. Love it. Star Citizen. I believe that's what we call in the business an Omega lol. Maybe it's good, guys, I don't know. Nobody knows. Maybe they do. A man of culture. Okay, time for the next color of green. I see memes of green. Red roses too. Maybe our kids will get to enjoy Star Citizen, man. Yeah, when they finally finish that game, maybe after another Kickstarter round, it's gonna be huge. Four 4.0 comes out this year? Oh, I didn't even realize they had a 1.0. It's still going on, unlike that recent Sony game. Concord was so nice, man. Everybody loved Concord. Can't believe they shut down the servers for that. Everybody loved it. I saw the donkey video he made on that game. That was pretty funny. It did look like something. Not something good, but just something, you know? You wanted some thoughts, right, Lowko? How about something like this? We'd have to go a little bit differently with the highlights over here, huh? Yeah, I will do a layer of like highlighting all around. So this was just like a relayer, right? Like not quite a highlighting phase yet. So we will get to highlighting in a little bit, but that's good advice for sure. I'll have to do a bit more of a brighter color around each of the individual segments. I'm not very good at that now. So that's gonna be some practice, I suppose. But yeah, that'll be after relayering all of the little flat areas. Practice. We gotta practice it. You can re-highlight and relayer a million times, it's okay. Just some inspiration to show that you can go with. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that much in your face. I think it's a good idea though to paint some stuff a little brighter, because again, it's very easy to dull down colors. Or at least much easier than it is to brighten stuff up. I wonder how many people are gonna bring a mini like the Harbinger of Decay to painting competitions going forward, because it really is. I feel like it's one of those minis where you can kind of show skill, you know? Like I don't have a lot of it, but I think a lot of folks can do an amazing job with this mini. It's a lot of really lovely sculpted elements. Maybe I should redo this mini in a couple years. Do it a second time, see if I can do a better job. That'd be kind of fun as well. Okay. What about this side of the horse? Same idea? Want to leave the recessed areas for the most part? There's a little bit more of it at the bottom than I would like. Mostly because that's where the brush obviously goes off of the little panel. And the area you lift off is where you leave most of the paint. So I'm covering some of those smudges up a bit, but that's okay. That's on purpose. If there's a Harbinger of Decay, there should be a Harbinger of Light. So this is a Nurgle. Like this guy is part of a Nurgle army. Nurgle doesn't have a lot of, not a lot of light. Life is, yeah, there's life in the strictest sense of the word. A lot of extreme shade settling here. I don't want to destroy all of it. But I do need a little bit more separation here between the different cloth. But I think with some edge highlighting, a little bit of edging will solve a lot of those problems. Yeah. What's going on, Pool? Welcome. Okay. I think that is all of the greens redefined a little bit more. It should look a lot tidier. I actually still have to do some of the hood. I forgot some of the hood. The hood doesn't have that many recessed areas, I guess, but we do need this to be quite nice and bright. Welcome to my hair. Okay. Quite a few easy edges actually to highlight on this guy, which is nice. I think that's a nice step done. Let me see. I think I want to re-highlight some, or relayer some of the bone areas as well. I feel like if it's, I'm not even really 100% sure if it's necessary, but I will do a little bit of it, because we can. The Imperium could benefit from a little bit of therapy. Are you trying to suggest the Emperor isn't always perfectly right? Because that would be, quite simply put, heresy. Everybody loves the Emperor, okay? And the Emperor loves everybody. I'm inspired by the Emperor of Mankind for my Frostpunk playthrough. He just seems like such a relatable fellow. A loving father for his, you know, his children. And the children are all of humanity. How can you not love that, chat? Oh, I see. I see. That's a little bit more reasonable. We have to re-highlight or relayer. Where's my paint? It's this one. All of the little skulls. A lot of little skulls on this guy. This guy has a little bit of... there's like a thread over here in his mouth. It's like he's sewn his mouth shut. Do you think the guy did that before dying? Do you think the guy that has his head hanging off of the side here is... He did that himself, right? Yeah, the Harbinger didn't do such a thing. No way. The Harbinger is a good guy. There's nothing evil about this guy. The Harbinger of peace. Yeah. And love. And butterflies. If the Harbinger was a season, he'd be spring for sure. Because it's new life and beauty. Sunshine and, you know, a little bit of rain from time to time. There's one more skull over here. This skull is actually mostly skin. Like, it's hard to say where the skull ends and where the skin starts, but this guy is, there's a lot of skin on this skull. Skin skull. Skull skin? Anyways, one of the two. This is gonna be Nurgle's rot later, so that should be okay. Yeah, he's in the middle of decomposition. Isn't that nice? That's the best part. Isn't it always kind of fun when you ride around on your horse and you string up somebody's head on your, you know, your horse's rein, and then at some point you look at it again after not paying attention for a couple of weeks and you realize half the skin is gone? God. Very relatable. That's one of my favorite moments. You gotta get a new one because it just will fall off at some point. God, how are you gonna keep your intimidation going if you don't have a head hanging off of your saddles? You know. Spoiler alert: you can't. Gotta get a new head. We will add a little bit of blood to those as well later. Don't lose your head? Yeah. I mean, it is a way to get a hit. In the strictest sense of the word. Okay. And when you get ahead, you need to get more ahead. Yeah. Okay, I think before we do actual edging, I'm gonna do a little bit of dry brushing on all of the wood. I think that's the best thing we can do. I need a little bit of Agrax over here in the corner if I can. Because there's a tiny section here that I missed. No. Okay. I'm gonna do 2 colors for the dry brush. I'm gonna use a little bit of... I wanna do like a relatively brownish color for like the very first one. I think this one's gonna be nice. I'm thinking just some good old Tyrant Skull again. I really like dry brushing with Tyrant Skull. I can also go for a browner color though. Do you think this one's gonna be too bright for the wood? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably. I need my kitchen tile, or my bathroom tile. Are you guys fighting for who gets to make a pyramid next? All right then. Yeah, if you can do it at the same time. I don't need a lot. Tiny little bit of paint. Tiny little bit of water. I think a dry brush is a bad mistake, guys. You want a slightly damp, a somewhat moist dry brush. That's what I recommend. Trying to do a very subtle bit of dry brushing. So I'm trying to get this on all of the wood, but I'm inevitably also gonna get it on the metal parts. Obviously don't want to get it on the green stuff. If I can at all avoid it. But that's why I'm doing this now, before we get to edge highlighting. Because I'm inevitably gonna get it on there. It's not a big deal though. Okay. We want to get some as well on the wood over here. This part feels a little fragile, this little cross beam. I'm a bit afraid it's gonna fall off. I guess it won't. Okay. Little top section over here. I'll try to reinforce this a bit with my finger. Because this part is already broken off once. I blame Toby for that one. Okay. What are you guys doing in the chat? Are you guys all right? I don't look at the chat for a little bit. Whoa, Red Hyena with a 4-layered pyramid? Incredible. Nobody cut him off? I'm surprised, chat. I would have cut him off if I noticed 100%. If I had my hands on the keyboard, I would have cut him off 100%. But I'm a dick, so you know. You went fast? This is kind of a sketchy little section here. Okay. This feels like hacking, man. Makes such a big difference. It makes the wood look a lot more like wood. Very nice. Yeah, this might be a hobby cheating. No, too greedy, Red Hyena. Ay. Lyrics! Music with lyrics! I'm in the middle of a dry brush, I can't skip it right now. I can tell that you're tough. I can tell that you're tough, Chet. You're strong. You loyal. You committed. No high school bullies in my chat. You're a diamond in the rough. According to this song anyways, I don't know. I don't know you. Kinda, fine, I'll skip it. Grown-up bullies in the chat. You're a diamond in the rough. Subscribe if you want to be a diamond in the chat. Yeah. You'll be a real diamond in the rough at that point. Yo, Zerxel! You are a diamond in the rough, good sir. Madam. Attack, whatever. I want to do a little bit more shading again, guys. I can't help myself. I like the wood, but I don't love the wood at the moment. And I'm thinking I can make it better by adding a little bit more shade. Now, I really have liked wildwood, but I think it's gonna be a little too strong. So we'll do a bit of a contrast medium mix, I think. Don't need a ton of it. I take offense. You're cut and polished. Cut and polished? I've been really liking Frostpunk too, Wyvern. I will be playing some more of that later today. This does still look like quite a strong color, but let's see. I'll do it on the beam here first. Yeah, I like how woody this color looks for some reason. Like the wildwood really nails it for me. I've been usually applying it straight though, from the bottle, straight onto the primer, which is a bit of a different vibe. But I think this looks nice. It really does look like wood. I'm gonna apply this over the shield too. Oh, sorry. Was my head there? Was my hair there again? Is my hair on the stream a lot, guys? Or only every once in a while? I feel like I catch myself, but I might not be catching myself all the time. Every once in a while, it's fine. Okay. If I have your permission, Z-Card, that's all I really need in life. What's going on, Mr. Rumpus? Good morning. Yo, Red Hyena, 100 bits. Thank you very much for the $1. Appreciate that. Oh, we're doing a bits pyramid. Look at that, chat. Hey, that's a great idea. Guys, look at Red Hyena. Make an example. Or take an example. That's a flex and a half. Beautiful pyramid right there. That's my favorite pyramid I've ever seen in my life. Screw the Pyramid of Giza. This is much better. Much like the Pyramid of Giza, this one is also tipped with a golden capstone right there. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Finally, we know how the pyramids were built. Imagine building the pyramids and then deciding to not leave any records at all on how it's built. Ay, 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 ay. Kind of a Chad move when you think about it. Like, you built by far the most impressive archaeological structure at that point in time. Like, there's nothing like it for thousands of years. And the architects were like, nah. Nah. They did, but we can't read them? Ah, we can read hieroglyphs. A lot of the time that Egypt was at its height, they had their capital city in the north. And that area is very moist. So there's a very good chance that there was documentation. But it just got fucked. We only doubt the Egyptians, or how they built it? Right. Well, it's just the scale, right? Like the size of the pyramids is just the main issue. All right, guys. We've got some more wood. You guys want to see my wood? Here. Does that shield look like wood? All jokes aside. It's still drying. I think that looks good, no? Yeah, that looks nice. Same for the weapon handle. That's a different color, much darker wood. But that would make sense, because that's something you would, yeah. You got that US education, so you're not surprised you're wrong? Wait, you thought they hadn't deciphered the hieroglyphs? So a couple hundred years ago, do we want to give the full history rundown? There's this fella called Napoleon, and he's like, yo, you know what I want to do? Go to the east to fuck with the Brits. So they go to the east, and they have a little bit of problem. They have a bit of an issue going on in Egypt. But they find this stone called the Rosetta Stone, which has 3 different scripts on it. One of them is the hieroglyphs. Then one of them is like, I think it's Demotic, which is like a different version of Egyptian. And then one of them is a Greek translation. But then the Brits show up and they can't actually keep the stone. But the Rosetta Stone is still in the British Museum right now. And that ultimately gave them all the info they needed to decipher the hieroglyphs, which is pretty cool. We've deciphered them, but we haven't read all of it yet because there's too much? No, that's not true. It's not that big. You can read the whole translation. You can read the whole translation. It's not that large. Egyptian relics in the British Museum? Right. Oh, you mean all of Egypt? Right, there's a lot of written stuff. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of edge highlighting, guys. Now, I'm gonna be edge highlighting the darkest ropes with the same color that we use for the middle colored ropes, like the medium green. We're gonna do a little bit of edging. You tuned in just in time, Rumpus, your favorite activity when it comes to miniature painting. What? Oh, I wasn't supposed to share that. Sorry, dude. I didn't know. You already went? Oh. This is gonna be quite a bright color. So we want to be a little careful with it. But we want to try and touch all of the little edges here. Now this is something that is a little sketchy. Because it can make stuff look really good and also kind of fucked up. So for some of these edges it's easy because I can use the side of the brush, just like this. But for some I'm gonna have to use the tip. I'm gonna have to use the tip for a little bit of, no. Still sad to see missing statues in the Pantheon Museum in Athens. 5 statues in a row, but 2 are missing the set. They're in the British Museum. Oh yeah. Now that goes for a lot of art, man. There's a lot of art all over the world that is not available as a set because they're either in the British Museum or like any of them, right? Like there's a lot of locations where they rightfully got them. It's a little sad, but the Americans have some Van Goghs, or as we say in the Netherlands, Van Gogh. That's the correct pronunciation, chat. It's the same for a lot of the Egyptian stuff, though. Like, for example, all of the obelisks, right? The Egyptians are well known for not just making pyramids, but also, for example, obelisks. They're all over the world. There's a bunch of them in Rome, there's a bunch of them in, like, there's like a big one in New York City. There's like a whole load of them all over the place. Very few of them are actually in Egypt in comparison. It's kind of sad.